Alright, guys, what is going on? It's your boy, Infected Bamboo here. We're gonna have a quick interruption with the background. What's going on, guys? Hopefully, everyone's having a good day. Today is the very first day that I'm trying to do something brand new. I know I bring a lot of gameplay streams and all, but today we're gonna throw around something. I've had the idea of doing a little podcast. I don't know exactly what I wanted to do until now, but with DCC just over last weekend, we decided to get a couple guys together who wanted to both attended slash volunteered at the event to talk about what they saw. So I posted in the Guardian Con Discord. I got some lovely people in here. Got Mr. Bluehawk, Broncos 27, and Miss Christie-ish. I'm gonna just a second turn on their audio so you guys can actually hear them. But yeah, these guys decided to take some time out of their days and talk to us about what they liked, what they didn't like about the event, and just in general, sort of reflect. Hence the name Reflections. If it takes off, great. If it doesn't, well, we tried. Whether or not it'll be like a weekly thing or it'll be just after post events and all, we'll see. But for now, why don't we open up the floodgates and let these guys in? Let these guys get their opinions out there. So, whether or not it'll be like a weekly thing. Hello? Guys?
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Guys, pretty good. Pretty good. So, quick introduction for everybody. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves? We'll go with you, Blue.
Hi. Blue Hawk.
Broncos? Did you have to step
I
away?
don't know what else to say.
Alright, well, Christie-ish, do you have anything to say real quick?
Hey everybody. I guess I'm here because I helped volunteer and I actually am related to the guy that does DIM. So I figured I would pop in and say hey.
No way. You're related to the guy who made DIM?
Yes, that's the only reason I even knew this was a thing, and that's how I got there. I kind of just rode along for the ride and ended up having an amazing time. So I'm already helping him plan what they're going to do next year.
Wow. Well, ain't that just impressive? And how about you, Broncos? Do you have any quick opening words you want to say?
I'm Broncos. Connecting people in the community.
Audio just... Okay, so for some reason...
It's all about community. That's what the whole event was for, and I met some fantastic... Just a guy that plays games.
Alright, hopefully everyone got that. PC's acting up a little bit, but we will see how that ends up. Alright. So, first of all, so quick question for you guys. How did you guys get involved in the Destiny community? Whether it be through playing games or just word of mouth. How did you guys get involved? I think my PC is absolutely dying right now. Alright.
You're infected.
Yeah.
Okay, for some reason PC is absolutely dying right now. Hello, guys?
We're here.
We hear you.
Okay. Okay, so PC is dying. Let's see how that goes. Alright, so how did you guys get involved in the Destiny community?
This is Broncos again. Just to make sure we got voices down for people. Actually, got talked into this game by my now ex-girlfriend, and it's honestly one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I've met people in this game that are better friends than people I've met in real life. It's absolutely astounding.
Oh. Well, that's just sweet. How about you, Bluehawk? How did you get involved?
Well, I've been playing since day one. Just bought the game because my friends were getting it. And yeah. Like I said, been playing since day one. Been streaming for about a year and a half. It's gotten to know a lot of people because of that. And yeah, that's why I was at DCC.
And Christy, you said it was because you were related to the gentleman who created Dim.
Well, I would say he's like one of the co-creators. But yeah, he made me buy the game when it first came out. And I also worked at Best Buy, so I got all kinds of weird swag and loot for working the opening event. And it just kind of escalated from there.
Okay. Wow. So, what are the biggest pros and cons of the community? What would you guys say?
That's a tough question to answer. You know, I mean, it kind of goes in waves, really. The pro and con that is pretty consistent is people's hunger for this game. You know, it's a pro because we all love the game and we always want content for it. We always want more, which is also a con because it's unrealistic. You can never have that much content. It's not feasible for the developers to do that. I mean, and along that, I'll do separate ones here real quick. I'd say cons would be definitely for the community wise is let's be honest. Let's just be blunt and honest. There's some people who get really cliquey in the game, like they won't play with you for this or play with you for that. But the percentage of that has gone down a lot. And the pro is the opposite of that. Everyone is about including everybody. And that's what DCC was astounding for, especially, is everyone was bringing everybody into everything, introducing people they know to other people they know. It was just a network of meeting new people.
Couldn't agree with you more. How about you, Blue? What are your thoughts?
I think pro is the community itself, and the con is probably the game. What I mean by that is, since the game was released, I mean, we all know the game was missing a lot when it first came out. And they've tried to fix that since, as far as like story and all the stuff that they've added. But for some reason, even with all the things that have been missing since the beginning of the game, we all still love the game. A lot of people can't even explain why. Like, the game is so addicting, but yet so much missing and so much more that they should be doing. So
for some reason, it just keeps on bringing in that crowd. That just keeps coming back.
Exactly, even though on paper.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're exactly right. On paper, the game itself has just been, lacking since the beginning. I love the foundation the game has, but it hasn't expanded enough off of it. I mean, I think so far, based off of what he said, is it try to, in shorter terms, what I said. The pro of this game is the community. That's why I still play the game. I don't play the game because it's the best game on the market. I play the game to play with other people.
Okay. All right. So, let's get into the actual meat of the event, or the actual meat of this podcast, the event itself. So, all of us know, correct, that DCC was a crowd-funded event. Okay? It was essentially a celebration of the community and what the community itself has achieved. How do you guys, or what were your guys' initial thoughts of the event being an actual organized event as opposed to last year, where it was sort of unofficial, mainly just streamers and a couple viewers meeting up, whereas now it's a full-on formal event growing to be eventually one day the likes of PAX or RTX?
I don't know if it'll ever be that big. I mean, those events are huge.
Well,
we can hope.
We can hope.
I know last year, I didn't even hear about this event until this year. I didn't even know it happened last year. I guess last year, first year, it was just essentially a meetup. Like, just some people just meeting up that were, wanted to meet up. This year, even, it blew every single person's expectations. Even people that thought it was going to be big had no idea how big this thing was going to get, especially last minute. And it being an organized event is fantastic. It's hey, in a year or 9 months or 10 months, because they're changing the date for next year, that we're going to have a Destiny meetup with people that love to play this game, people that stream this game. We're going to have panels and everything. The fact that they did that is absolutely fantastic. The best part about the event is it's for the community, by the community. It's Bungie didn't put it together. Nobody else put it together. This was an event created by members of our community.
Right. So, and this year they tried to be a lot more organized with the event, with the inclusion of the meetup in the on the first day. Did any of you guys also attend that meetup at Wing House?
I did. I definitely did. It
I
was
also did.
very cool.
First of all, what did you like about the venue? Did you guys like the venue? Did you guys hate it? Oh, I see we have another
Holy
person
crap.
joining
Sorry.
in. Diabetic
Hi.
Play.
How you doing?
Hey, Diabetic, your volume is
Good,
really
how are you?
loud.
It is? Sorry, hold on.
I'm gonna adjust your volume real quick for me at least.
Yeah, I'd say the venue, pros and cons. They did a fantastic job ushering the line, even though unfortunately some people got ushered away because they didn't pre-order. But the venue itself, I would say a 6 out of 10, and I say that because I think the common complaint is the floors in that particular building are absolutely really bad for your feet. It's an awful kind of concrete, but overall, the way they set up the inside of the venue was streamlined, except where they had like Guardian Radio and Crossroads booth. That was a little bit cramped, and from what I heard, there was originally supposed to be more people there in that area, and so I think that area was a bit small for what it was. So that kind of cramped it. The food area was fine. The stage area was fine, except I mean they're gonna need to do more chairs next year because there's gonna be more people.
More chairs.
Other than that, it was pretty good. The one thing I really didn't check out was the Crucible laser tag because I was just going around talking to people the whole time. The meet kind of the line a lot. But overall, I think it was a good venue, and especially with what I've heard they're planning for next year to do it differently. But I'd say the biggest con for me about the event was for the panels, the volume.
All right, check it out.
That's true. I heard the music more than I heard the panels, so it was kind of. I think that's probably the biggest con I'd like to hear. People that have been streaming for a while, what their ins and outs, and I think the volume interlap between the two is probably my biggest con of the area.
Okay.
How do I sound?
And what about you, Blue? Or Michael, would you like to add anything onto that?
Do I sound crazy? Mike, okay?
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
you sound
I just
fine.
wanted to
Yeah.
clarify before I started talking about anything, but I kind of agree with like everything you're saying. I think my biggest problem was was that music. That was I get it's a venue and you're trying to have a good time and everything, but I think that those panels, like you said, I don't know if you guys saw, but the meet and greets were supposed to be in a different place. They were supposed to be right next, like that wall that was on the Crucible area. It was supposed to be out. They realized that was too small, so they moved it next to the stage. And I guess that was a better option. Super cramped all of the time. Closer to the front, there wasn't a whole lot of people, like unless you were waiting for merch and stuff. But other than that, I think it went pretty well.
Okay. I'll be sure to, Broncos.
What about
Okay.
the rest of you? You guys got any comments here? I've been hogging the mic, so.
My biggest thing is if we're expecting it, so they were not expecting that. And the video is playing right now. Thanks. And if I mess with anything, it's gonna. Okay. Yep. Yeah, kill my PC.
Destiny, Girls in St. Jude's raising over 500 Destiny.
All right.
Real quick, while your PC is trying to catch up. For one, you got to edit this after, just so you know.
Yeah. I've got to.
Dude, Orby is an
that.
awesome dude, man. Orby is super awesome.
It was funny. And this is a note for the community itself, just that we've built together. I walked into the wing house not even knowing anybody there who was going to attend, and I just sat down with a random group of people, and one of these people that just happened to be Mr. Diabetic Plague here. And we just started striking up a conversation, and next thing you know, I see a guy in a Discord shirt. Turns out it was Orbital Star, who, again, I've never heard of, but for some reason we just started, clicking. And I don't think any other gaming community could easily throw an event where just random players could get together on this sort of scale and actually become as well of friends as some of us did. If that makes sense to you guys.
I agree. I 100% agree. I went there on that Friday, and my intention was to get lunch and then to sit and watch the Destiny Community Con stream for like the whole night and just chill and not do anything. And I just kind of popped in on Discord a little earlier than that, and I saw what's her face? I don't know. There was someone who was sitting there, and they mentioned that they were at the Wing House, and I was like, "That's right across the street." I had just gotten lunch, and I was just sitting down. I was like, "I'll come over in like an hour after I digest my food. I'll grab a beer or something." But I don't know. It was just like so weird because they just said, "Hey, we're in the back, we're in the corner," and then it went from me going over there and just kind of talking to like these guys about Destiny and just talking about where we're from, how long we've been playing, just all this stuff. It went in and out of Destiny conversation so many times that it felt like Destiny that I knew, and so having those people that I can connect with on that base, we're also able to connect on other levels. And then that night just got crazy, and then it went from us chilling at a table with like 4 other people to eventually Cosmo being there and having there be about, would you say, like 100 different people, if not more. It blew up, and it was amazing to me. I just don't know how else to describe it. I can't even really put into words how much it blew up and how cool that was to see in a community that I already knew and I already loved so much that was all there.
I didn't know I kind of knew what to expect Saturday because I've been to cons before.
Mm-hmm.
That I already knew, DJ, all these people I've already met in real life, through whatever. I thought it was just going to be them, and then I get there and Cosmo's hanging out. Bell Bunny's hanging out. All these people are hanging out, and it's like you sit at a table with a group of people, and all of a sudden, all these other people come up that you meet that you never met. I met all the people from the. Well, let me make sure I don't get the name of them wrong. It's Streamboat Gaming, and those guys are pretty cool. I actually met Applejacks out there, who's probably going to kill me for calling her out right now. But we hung out all weekend, like through the con and everything. It was super cool. Like, it was just astounding, the networking there. I was taking shots with people I didn't even know their names. It's the effort of this community to make it a community. It just blows me away. Friday is the one that got me the most because
literally a bunch of random strangers arrive in a brand new city, and suddenly we're all like, as Guardian Outpost put it, we're all giving each other hugs as if we've been friends for like 10 years and we haven't seen each other in 8
or ever. Yeah, exactly. And Geo, I love Geo. He's so funny. I really wanted him to shave his head, by the way. He,
Almost.
this was actually at the
almost.
end of the night. I was coming back in because they were getting ready to close, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, the corner of my eye just looked, and like without even saying anything, he just walked up and we hugged each other. And I'm like, that's just astounding to me. I mean, I'm a huggy person anyway, but the fact that this community is so tight knit to where, you know, we're a family. This community is a family, and Friday night like proved that to me in
You-
every possible way.
Can you like describe that at all? Like I can't even put it into words. I've had experiences in gaming like this, like in the actual game itself before, but when it comes to actually the community and how we've become so, I guess close would be the word. It sounds so weird to say that, but we've become so close as a community itself that I can't even understand how it just sort of came to be. It was like Vanilla Destiny came out, everyone was hyped for this game, and then the two DLCs that came after that, everyone was like, cool, this game's awesome. And, you know, we kind of built a community on Twitch and through YouTube and through all these different mediums, and it was like, I don't even understand how it happened. Like, I can't even understand how,
it all came
how
together.
that happened at all.
I think a lot of it is, you know, bringing back to what we did earlier. You know, is just the fact that the game is in a much better place than it was to start. It really is, and we're all aware of that. But the fact that we all stuck it out for each other for so long. I didn't play the game because I was like, one day it'll be good. You know, it'll be complete. I stuck it out because I'm like, these people are awesome, and I love the people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I stayed for the people, and it's just, you can laugh together, you can triumph together, you can salt together. You know, it's just all about it's all about really together. And I mean, for a name plug real quick, I will say, especially like Goth and Professor Broman, they've done so much for this community social wise. They got so big on Twitch that it kept us on the radar. It kept Destiny on the radar and the people on the radar. You know, and not to mention everything they did for that event.
For sure.
And I believe Broman mentioned something, if I can just interject real quick. Broman mentioned something in one of his, I think his final day of the DCC stream, where, yes, he and Goth made it big, but they kept the whole mindset of sort of sharing that, or sharing their success with the rest of the community. And I think that really helped to solidify how well-knit, or not really well-knit, but how supportive this community has become over time.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone in this community will support everyone else in this community. I don't care who they are. You know, I've never once in this community had anybody say, I don't want to play with that person, or, you know, maybe not them. It's like, all right, well, let's play. And I think that's another thing I'll attribute it to is Twitch, is because, especially Goth, they got so big so fast, but they always kept the humble mindset of, this is our game. This is our game. It's not this person or that person. It's ours. And for our streamers, whether they have 0 viewers or 6,000, I think more than any other game I've ever watched before, we have such a broad culture of people that do it, that there's big streamers for Destiny that I did not even know existed until DestinyCon, and I like to think I'm pretty tapped into the community myself.
Pretty well.
And, you know, and there's streamers that I wasn't even a huge fan of. It's not that I didn't like them, it's just they weren't my preferred watch. Then after I met them in person and hung out with them, I was like, oh, okay. And now they're sort of at the top of my list. You know, it's I know it's so repeating, and we all keep repeating it, but it's the people. The people make this game.
For sure.
Let's also not forget, while we're giving credit to Bro Man and Cathalion, which they've done for everything, this event wouldn't have happened without Kevin, without K-Magic.
What do you guys think?
He's
100%. K-Magic, thank God for him. Holy cow.
I mean, he ran the
K-Magic
whole thing. He
deserves
put the
a
whole thing
lot.
together.
Everything.
Yes, he deserves a lot of the credit for this event.
And then that's like the base of the tree. Like he had so much, like I don't know if you guys saw his Twitter. Like he kept throwing out people that were helping him. Like everyone. I don't even know. Like the volunteers were. If you guys have seen the volunteer chat in Discord, is just blown up with people just being like, "Yo," like right before it, I saw it and it was just like, "Yo, we're meeting up here. We're gonna hang out." They even hung out like as volunteers themselves. I wasn't a volunteer because I didn't even know what to expect for something like this. So I'm considering volunteering next year because of how amazing that community was and how amazing that you know, just how well it was put together. I know that there was some issues with the volunteers. Is anyone here a volunteer?
Yeah, I was.
I was supposed. Okay. Wait, who was?
Blue.
All right.
I can
was
give you
also-
guys a little bit of insight.
Yeah.
Supposed to do it.
Yeah, Blue. Why don't you add like what were your experiences as a volunteer?
Basically, as a volunteer, we all got there at 7 in the morning. Everything was set up like as far as like they were waiting for us to check us all in to do all that stuff. They had everything that we needed waiting. We did a great job. I think where we
Blue
lacked and yeah, is my mic working?
Did Blue get DC'd or something?
No, I hear.
Oh, Blue's here.
Oh, I don't hear him.
You might need to reload.
Perhaps you have him on mute or something like that.
It seemed weird.
That's
before
weird.
When I said K Magic,
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Can't tell if he's playing a Joker.
But yeah, so everything was put together as far as they went. Where we kind of lost it and where we kind of fell apart was that the volunteers themselves kind of let each other down. Like, and what I mean by that was I wasn't supposed to personally volunteer until that night, but it looked like they needed help early on in the day, so I ended up helping, and a lot of people did. But then I kept seeing the same people all day at the same place, not getting to enjoy the event because they were stuck volunteering. And I feel like a lot of the people who were supposed to volunteer didn't. I feel like they showed up, they got their free entry, they didn't actually.
And then they just took advantage.
Exactly. And I don't have proof. I'm not going to throw any names out there or anything like that. I'm just saying, that's what it felt like. It felt like the same people. And I'm not even saying me because I did, what I was supposed to do, but I didn't go above and beyond like Kevin and all those guys did. So, great credit to those guys. But I feel like there were a lot of people who just took advantage of those guys, and I felt bad about it. And I feel like next year, I hate to say that Kevin and those guys need to keep a tighter leash on everybody, but I feel like I hope that there's a better group of volunteers beyond those ones that will help them and make it so they don't have to next year.
That's what I heard. I heard that the volunteers were good and all, but apparently some people were late to their shift or something and they just didn't show up, just like how you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Happened a lot.
Yeah. I kept hearing a resounding issue of some volunteers not reporting where they should have been.
Yep, that's what it was.
Into their reported shifts.
From what I heard is that we all got there early, and I actually started helping at 7, and I wasn't supposed to help until 12. And so I helped from 7 until 11:10. I had to go watch my brother-in-law do his presentation. Then I started helping again from 12 to 1. Then I actually ended up being Cosmo's bodyguard for about 45 minutes. Then I started handing out t-shirts for Dim, and then it just kind of lost track of everything. But yeah, the same volunteers that I saw in the morning, I would say I probably only saw about 10 of them throughout the day, and maybe 40 of them seem to have just completely disappeared.
Yikes.
Yeah, I feel like
I guess we can attribute this to first con and all, or first official con. It's all semantics, it's all logistics, and they're gonna work it out by next year, hopefully.
Yeah, I think you can underestimate that. It's the first time that they've done. I don't know Kevin's backstory, but I'm sure he's never put together a full con like this before. So, all the credit to him for doing what he did. For the shortcomings of some of the people who volunteered to help. But I'm sure by next year they'll probably have some sort of staff that's actually being paid, so they have at least a bare minimum. But I hope that there's something along the lines of that. That way we know that everything's covered, at least again to the minimum. Because I felt bad for some of the people there all day this entire day.
Yeah.
Agree.
You can also see that, like, if you were in the volunteer chat Discord, it was all the same people talking. Like, there were several people in there, but it was always the same ones asking who needed help, asking who was where, and asking what was going on. So, like, just a lot of people probably did agree to help and then slowly disperse themselves somewhere.
I don't know if you guys talked about this before I got here, but I was going to ask you guys if any of you have been to a smaller convention, because I kind of wanted to attribute that I went to, I don't know if you've ever heard of VidCon. It's a video convention thing that's in, I think it was Los Angeles for the past few years, and it started back like 5 or 6 years ago. And it started out small, and I went there for a few times for seeing some small YouTube content creators that I knew, and I kind of wanted to meet because I was interested in the business. And I went there, and it was fun the first year, but every consecutive, I went for about 4 years in a row, and I went the second year it started. The first year was kind of what I heard what Destiny Con like last year was. It was like really small. It was almost like in the basement of like a bar or something. And then the next year was like the bigger version of that, and it was started to kick things off. And that's when I started. And I thought the first year I went to that was fun. But like I said, I went 3 years after those at that time, and every consecutive year after that it got almost worse, and it got more difficult to meet the people that you wanted to meet. And the convention itself got kind of out of hand. So I mean, in that sense, I kind of have this fear in the back of my head that it might get a little out of hand. But that was for content that is YouTube based entirely. Like you saw people, like you saw PewDiePie. PewDiePie was there. Like he's the biggest subscribed person on YouTube, and then something like this is much, I guess, smaller scale wise because you're seeing like Goth is the biggest guy, and he's not like, granted he's big, but like you have this more smaller community, and so I'm wondering how you guys feel about the future of this convention and how this will work in the years to come.
I think it'll. Yeah, I think it'll get bigger. It'll get bigger. Because the one thing, if you look at with some of these other conventions, is people go for one person. You know, you go to see this person. I'm going to Richmond Comic Con in next weekend, and it's really to see honestly one person. But if you go to a con like Destiny Con, you're not going to see one person, because although Goth and Broman have a lot of viewers, and they have single-handedly between the two of them the most, are I'd say mid-level, and by mid-level I mean smaller than those two streamers. It's spread, the love is spread out a lot, you know, and they all promote each other. So when you're going to see people, you're not going to see one person, you're going to see most of the people that are there. I think that's the big difference, is I think that's going to also help our community, at least for those of us that are already here in it, because, you know, there's not one streamer, one content creator, one person in the community I don't like. Everybody I've met has been absolutely fantastic. And that's not something I can say about video games. You know, I've met people I played Call of Duty with and all that stuff, and I met bad people. Like, honestly, in real life, like, everybody I met in the Destiny community at DestinyCon or wherever I've met them at, they're all exactly how they are online. Nobody's different. It's I guess I'm gonna equate it like Disneyland. Disneyland has the Disney magic. Whether you're doing anything or not, you're having fun and you're smiling. That's Destiny. I have no way to explain it, but somehow this community has facilitated an amazing group of people. You know, through everything, it's the amazing group of people. I think the biggest thing to me about size that's going to be interesting is how they handle it, because they had no idea it was going to be that big this year, and I can promise you it will be at least twice the size next year.
Oh.
And that's not even throwing out whenever a Destiny 2 announcement's made, because start the hype train now if you want, or don't get your hopes up. But my hopes are through the roof for Destiny 2, because honestly, they know what they're doing now. when Destiny first launched and even the first couple DLCs, they didn't even know what they were doing. They didn't know what their end game was. They had ideas. It was a game made on ideas, and now the game has a solid foundation, and they know how they want to move forward. So it's only going to get bigger. Think of how big it was until like 2 months after the Taken King. Destiny was in the top 3 or 4 of the directory on Twitch. It's still now in the top 10 almost every second of every day. When new content drops, it'll be back up in the top 5. I have a very strong feeling when Destiny 2 comes out, it'll be consistently in the top 3 or 4. Because they know what they're doing now. So the con's only going to grow because of that.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
I agree with what he said about the fact that if you go to like a VidCon or something, you go to see these big celebrities because that's what they are. And Cathalion's a celebrity to us, but he's not a celebrity in the. So I think that only helps us in the long run because we're not, like he said, we're not going for certain people. We're going for the community. We're going for the game, the content, for each other. I think that helps us. And also the other thing, I feel like anything Twitch related is always going to be more in that sense than YouTube because on YouTube you might see a collab and you might see somebody put some information in their description about this other YouTuber. But that's it. You don't have people's videos on your channel. On Twitch, you know, everybody, when you get offline, like personally, when I get offline, every single night I'm streaming, I will host somebody else, no matter who they are, whether a person or one of my friends. I feel like you have that sense of family in a sense, and that's why we get along so well, and we belong together so well, I guess.
True.
See, that's the thing. That's one of the big things that I equate YouTube and Twitch to. YouTube, you can create a video, you can edit it, and you can become this sort of larger than life figure.
Yeah.
Than you want to be portrayed, and that gives off the sense that your viewers think they know the real you, and then when they actually get to meet you, they don't. Whereas with Twitch, you're actually live streaming to an actual audience right then and there, so they're actually getting to see you raw, unedited, a little bit uncensored at times. So then they get to know a more realer version of you than if they were on YouTube. And I feel like that just does let me see if I can put this away. That just helps to strengthen the community that we've already established and even make it even more tight knit than it is.
Oh yeah, and that's the one thing. You go to other communities, other gaming communities, you have people that talk about other people. It's like, oh, screw this streamer, screw this person, I don't like this person, blah, 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 blah. They're this, they're that. You don't have that in the Destiny community. You have all these people that foster a fantastic friendship, style. I can't think of the word. They foster a fantastic community because all of them talk so good about other people. They only talk up about everybody else. And that's something you don't get anywhere else. And I think what sets Destiny apart from, like we were saying, other communities, especially when it comes to the convention, is it's made by the community. Cosmo showed up, and I don't know if you're aware, but Luke Smith showed up. But they weren't there as Bungie employees. They were there as fans of the game. And that's one testament I can say to our community is that nobody rushed them with, oh my God, you're amazing and you work for Bungie. They're like, hey, what's up? And then they went to go meet their favorite streamer, content creator, whoever. It's when somebody from the developer of your game can show up and they're not the center of the show, that is amazing.
Right. And Christy, you haven't really talked too much. Do you have anything to add to this at the moment, or?
I can actually say we ended up going to dinner with Cosmo on Friday night. And it was actually pretty interesting because not only was he so down to earth and was he excited to be there, anytime somebody looked like they wanted to come talk to him or anytime somebody saw him was like, oh my God, is that Cosmo? I would immediately be like, hey, they're staring at you. And he'd be like, wave them over. He was happy to meet them and talk to them and greet them, take selfies with them, talk to them. I mean, he wasn't like, oh, I'm better than you. He's like, hey, you guys are all fans of my game and my thing, and I want to meet you all.
Yes. I mean,
And
Cosmo's fantastic. The first I saw him at the wing place, that was cool. But I was like, he was tired. You could tell how jet lagged he was. He was out of it a little bit. And then at the con, I ended up just eating lunch next to him, and we just kind of looked at each other and nodded because we were both like mid bite of our food. But is this the perfect time to talk about what happened at the after party?
I think I do want to roll the tape.
Yeah, let's talk about how good of a sport
We're gonna-
Cosmo is real quick.
What happened?
Did I miss something?
I don't know.
Now, we're all talking about how Cosmo is, this great down-to-earth guy. So, Broncos actually had a very special moment with Cosmo at the after party. Now, I managed to capture this on my phone, so headphone users, beware real quick. The audio may flare up a little bit, but for the most part, you get to see, what kind of a person Cosmo is. So...
Tastes like college and bad shit. All right. Cosmo!
Will you be my community?
He said yes!
Roll that back real quick.
Dropping
Tastes like college and bad shit. All right. Cosmo!
Will you be my community?
He said yes!
Apparently my PC cannot handle it properly.
A happy couple. Don't worry, the ring's right here. What's up? The
There we
ring's
go.
right
I
here.
see it now.
Let's go.
But
And if he can get this to work while I'm talking, is we were at the after party, and I had gotten a bunch of roses from some guy walking around getting roses, and I was just giving them to people, just to be nice. Hey, hope you have a great night. Here's a rose. So somebody had whispered in there like, bro, you should propose to Cosmo, joking, right? Because he was in there hanging out. I was like, dude, I'll do it. And then Infected hands me a drink. And it worked out perfectly because in the video, I downed the drink, and I go over, and I get down on my knee, and I propose to Cosmo. And I proposed to him in a good way because I was like, will you be my community manager? And it was amazing because he was like, get up, come here, and he hugged me and everything. It was hilarious and awesome. He is such a good sport.
I didn't know that was you. I saw that video. Silly Farm showed me that. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
perhaps you saw the video on Reddit. The girl that I was with actually recorded it as well, and she put it on Reddit immediately. And I was amazed at how quickly that video blew up. But what's more amazing is Cosmo's actual reaction to that in the moment. He's not like, oh my god, what is going on right now? Oh my god, who's this weird guy? He's more just like, you know what? Let's just roll with it. Let's have some fun.
He
And that was just... I believe Cosmo has seen it. If not, then I will tweet it at him later on. Tweet it, or I'll just DM it to him. We'll spam his DMs later.
Yeah, he was a fantastic sport. It was super awesome.
It was a very cute
Dealing
moment.
with-
I actually, I volunteered my ring. I had a ring on that I volunteered for the happy couple after that. Cosmo did not take it, though.
It was
That was the one part he thought was
He was
weird.
like, "Hey
Well,
man, what are you
thanks.
doing?" No, it's absolutely awesome. That I don't know why I even did that because somebody
It was
just,
one of those
just to be
spur of the moment
funny,
things, yeah.
just to be funny, and he knew it was to be funny, and he went with it so well. And
And
yeah,
you don't get that in every game where a community manager will absolutely say, you know what? Hey, this guy's proposing to me. Yes, it's community manager, but still, he's proposing to me. I'm going to say yes and roll with it. You're not going to get that with every game. And I think that's kind of the heart of Destiny that really they made this for the fans, and they are continuing to make it for the fans.
And that's because they're fans. They are fans themselves, so they're essentially making a game that they'll enjoy because we'll enjoy what they enjoy because they love and hate the same stuff about the game that we do. You know,
Oh yeah, and
they've always been that
Deej,
way.
you know, you're gonna. Yeah, and Deej, if you ever watch this, you're gonna bite your words, but Hunter Master Race.
Whoa.
Sorry, buddy.
I thought it was funny too because when I was inside with the party on Friday, I went inside and I saw Cosmo was there after I had taken some pictures with him, and he was talking to some more people, and he kind of had a moment, and I kind of wanted to let him be for a minute because he was approached by everyone there, and he was a bit overwhelmed, and I saw like his eyes were like beet red. He was tired. I'm sure he just wanted to kind of hang out for a while, so he just kind of sat down on his phone and kind of talked for a little, like just, I don't know, texted or something. And then he looked up, and I was just kind of texting too, and he's like, "Yo, how you doing?" And he approached me, and I was like, "Oh, hey," and I started talking to him a little bit, and I asked him because I knew about how he came from, like the starter. He started the Destiny the game subreddit, and I thought that was so cool about how he went from just a guy who loved the game to make Reddit a Reddit subreddit, and he went from just having a job as like an IT guy doing some sort of other stuff, doing like video editing and stuff like that, and he sort of made a name for himself in the Reddit like universe, and then he was approached by Bungie, and I just thought that was so cool. He kind of talked to me a little bit about that and how he was able to do that. I thought that was really cool of him.
Yep. Great developers, great people.
Yeah, they and that's the thing is you know, I didn't really think to equate it this way before, but think about all the people at Bungie. Think about all the people that work there. They're a family there. So it's only fitting that the community fits together like a family, like they do.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It appears we have Bluehawk is Bluehawk is having to peace out. So first of all, I want to say thank you for joining us today. I know this was kind of a spur of the moment / hectic event, but thank you for taking the time out to join.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys. Sorry, I got to get going, but I got some stuff to do.
I can hear him now. What the hell?
Now you can.
Of course.
Great.
Selective hearing.
He could hear me the whole time. He just don't.
Well, I'll see you later, bud.
Punked us.
Have a great night, everybody. Take care.
Okay.
Yeah, you too. And one thing is I know this might be off topic, but I was thinking about it is all these people are just people, you know? It's that they are just people. Like I'm not going to name drop anybody, not all of them specifically. Like I had lunch with Triple Wreck. I bought his lunch. I bought everybody's lunch at Five Guys.
I bought Triple Wreck 8.
And he was like, "What are you doing that for?" I'm like, I like to be nice, man, and everybody in this community is my family. So, hey, man, I'm buying everybody lunch. Just eat your food. And the most
I am buying my brothers and
yes,
sisters
the
lunch.
most
Please
humanizing
appreciate it.
aspect
Enjoy
of it, and I'm sorry, Triple, for calling you out, but he fangirled over Laced Up Lauren in Five Guys. he fangirled so hard over Laced Up Lauren, and we had to talk him into going to talk to her.
Let's be real.
And-
Let's be real. Who wouldn't fangirl? over
Yeah,
Laced Up Lauren?
and it's just for something like that to happen is they're fans of each other too. That's what people don't realize. Is I was actually listening to, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Aim Assist Gaming podcast, but they just ended because they got real life stuff going on. But one guy in there, N64 Josh, he's a really awesome dude, and I love him to death. He put it well because he's talked to like the goths and the bromans, and they'll tell you it's they might be good at what they do, they might be entertaining, they might be funny, they might manage it well. But for anybody that's struggling for your content out there, and that you're a content creator, whether it be YouTube or streaming or whatever, it's a lot of luck. It's a lot of luck. You know, I forget who it was that I was talking to, but they'd been streaming for like 3 years, and then all of a sudden, like over a weekend, they went from like 40 to 20,000 followers in like a weekend. You know, there's no guarantee you're going to make it big. So when you do stuff like that, do it for yourself. You are your audience. Make sure it's something you like to do.
For sure.
You know, don't act a certain way on your stream or be a certain way for anybody, because it's going to get stale. You have to do what you want to do. You have to do it because you enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. You could see people too. Like you could see if someone's enjoying it, and if they are having a good time. You could see how people love this community. Like you'll see people at the bottom of the list, like anyone who has like less than 10 viewers, you could see that they're still enjoying the game. Like ever since Destiny Community Con has happened, I've gone down to like the bottom of the list because of like the Destiny Twitch, whatever it's called, the category of Destiny directory, yeah. And I just have been talking to so many more people. I just feel like I used to just be like, get on and be like, all right, cool, is Triple on, or is Giggle Monster on, or anyone like that on? Cool, if they're on, I'll just click and have them on while I'm playing Destiny 2. But I kind of...
Well, you're already playing Destiny 2. How do you get a copy of it?
I just, let me get that.
He's got them sweet cheat codes.
So, I don't know, I just, like, everyone's, like, I've become more close with people, I guess. It's cool. It's very cool.
I understand what you're saying. What was it? I originally started off as a Halo streamer, believe it or not. I've been streaming for about a year now, and my big break came from getting to know a member of a variety streamer named under the name of Golden Boy FTW. Now, this guy, when I met him, or when I first found his stream, he was streaming H1Z1, and he enjoys the game. He loves it, but he's more of a Halo guy. He's made his name in Halo, his career as a commentator in Halo. So when I started streaming, I kept supporting him, and he supported me back. So that's where I sort of got my big start into it, and he was actually the reason that I got into Destiny. So he was playing a lot of Destiny back in, last year in June? June 2015, right before Taken King Gaming came out. And because of him, I wanted to sort of join him and...
Another one.
And so I got the game. And the big thing about that is that he gave me the whole mindset, to help other people. And that's what I kind of brought into the community. And when I just started streaming Destiny mainstream, I really didn't expect that whole mentality to be across the entire community. I thought it was more unique just to me and a very select group of people, and then suddenly I'm finding out of people like Goth and Broman, the big names, supporting the smaller guys, and then you have people such as Guardian Outpost constantly doing his streamer spotlights every day, trying to increase the viewer base for some of these smaller streamers and help them grow as well. So that really caught me off guard when I first started playing the game and I started making content for it. It's a little off topic, and I think, okay, oh my god, I just got a brand new follower, and guess what it is?
Oh.
It's Guardian Outpost.
What's up, Geo? Geo's such a good dude.
Yeah.
If he's Guardian Outpost, Dave, if you are currently if you're currently lurking in the chat, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, man. I really enjoyed getting to meet you, and I really appreciated the moment that you gave me at DCC.
That guy's
okay?
perverted.
When
check out your chat.
I heard that guy's perverted. I mean,
he gives great butt touches. I promise. We were at the wing place. But just be honest.
Ooh.
Guardian Outpost. Okay, Dave, you gave me such an amazing moment. Okay, I was actually in line at the convention. I had just gotten in due to PKR. Okay, and I was just in line for one event. I can't even remember what it was. I think I was getting ready for laser tag, and suddenly I turned to my right, and I just see this kind of large guy walking towards me, like he's in a hurry, he's rushing. I'm like, okay, either I did something wrong, and I'm getting called out for it, or he is about to just absolutely pummel me. Instead, he just comes up to me, gives me a hug, like, I'm in a hurry, I gotta go, but I really just needed to give you a hug real quick. You're awesome. And I'm like, wait, you did what? And he's done so much for the community, and the fact that he did that for, you know, to me, I don't even know where I was, Outpost. All I remember is that just I don't know.
The support smaller streams is absolutely one of the best things in this community right now. Because you know, some of my favorite streamers are very small streamers. You know, they might have 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 viewers. You know, shameless plug, because he streams at Dark 30 every night, but my homie Buddha J is amazing. He's got like the talk radio voice and everything, and he's super fun, he's super funny, and he's super chill. He never goes on tilt. Ever. Like, he doesn't. And
cool.
I love him to death. And, you know, it's people like that I like to watch more than anything. You know, because they could be the next goth. They could be the next bro man. It could be the next person that people are trying to meet next year.
Yep. And I had a thought that I was about to say, and just I completely forgot it. But yeah, the whole support smaller streamers group, or hashtag that you started, Outpost. One thing I've always found is that one lesson that I always had or kept with me since Golden Boy was establish yourself as a smaller streamer and get to know your viewers, okay? Get to know your viewers, because that's where really the heart of your stream is. And when I noticed that Dave created that support smaller streamers, it really resonated with me. You know, he's trying to help those smaller streamers create that small community for themselves. Because yes, you can be a member of the Destiny community, but you know, the big thing is, are you a member of a community that you know you actually enjoy being part of? And again, finding those smaller streamers is again, finding that person that really clicks with you.
Yeah, and that brings it back to, you know, what I keep saying. I know I've repeated it like 30 times. Is the reason Destiny is what it is, and the people in this community are what they are, is because of each other. You know, it's not an exaggeration at all. I have not met one bad person through this game, and I've met people other ways than at DCC. I've had other meetups just locally or wherever, or just I travel for work. For example, I have a dude that I play with. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm gonna be in your town this weekend. What's up?" We went out, we grabbed a beer, and we had a great time. And it's a family.
Me and Diabetic actually had a moment like this at Wing House. Do you remember Diabetic?
I was probably really drunk. I remember being friendly to everybody. What did I do?
Wait, somebody got drunk over the weekend at DCC? What?
Really?
What? That's news.
Crazy.
No, but again, walked into a brand new place, brand new. Hey Logic, hey Pouch, how's it going, guys? Oh, and Pouch, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But we discovered that 2 random strangers in a strange city. Turns out they live pretty close by.
You live like 20 minutes away.
So, yeah, so it's like you don't get those moments outside of, you know, these smaller events like this. And again, it's strengthening the community and building it, you know, building or establishing this greater community that we already are part of. So when you mentioned, I believe Broncos, you mentioned something about hanging out with other people. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's whether it was at DC or everywhere else, it's a community of networks, man. Like, even if they're not on my friends list, because obviously, you know, a lot of people are like, let's just be the way we all were. They're too holly to have that many people on their friends list because it can get crazy, and
Yep.
I'm not going to call anybody out by names, but because that could get awkward for them if anybody listens to this. But it's like I have plenty of people, whether they're Holly or just people I know on here, that I know if I'm in their city, that I can just send them a message and we can go out and grab a beer, grab a burger, or whatever. Because that's the beautiful thing about what I do is I travel for work for like a week at a time. And like right now, I'm getting ready to go to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada on Monday for 2 days. Middle of nowhere. But I have somebody that I know playing Destiny that lives up there, and we're gonna go grab some food. I never in my life thought a video game would connect me this well with people in actual real life.
Online friends slowly become IRL friends.
True.
Yes.
I have friends in Virginia now that I've still never met because of this game.
Hey man, come to Virginia. That's where I live.
Really? There you go. See?
Hey, diabetic road
That's what I'm
trip.
saying,
Road
man.
trip to
We gotta
Virginia.
go. We'll go swing to Virginia and we'll go down to Florida for Guardian Con.
I drove down there this year. I got to drive back through the hurricane. It was insane.
Ooh. That sounds
There
hard.
was cars in front of me and behind me literally blowing off the road.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is.
And on the way back, I stopped in North Carolina, and I got to go hang out and have some Buffalo Wild Wings with somebody I met at DCC.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
I mean, it's absolutely incredible. I know I sound like the positive voice here, I guess, but it's just, we talked about the pros and cons earlier. Oh, real quick before we get off pros and cons and we just talk about everything randomly. I'll say another con. I don't want to say a con, but I'll say that the after party might need a bigger venue next year.
100%. Yes.
Yes.
Like, hey man, I got no problem getting close to people and stuff. Like, I'm a touchy feely, like I'm a hug everybody, but it was wall to wall. It was hard to move, and most of the people in there were us.
I mean, you were getting the intentional butt touches and the unintentional /
Yeah.
unwanted butt touches at the exact same time.
Yeah.
No, and I think I mean obviously nothing's official, but just from whispers I've heard, and critiques that everyone's gotten is it's supposed to be 2 days next year, I believe. Guardian Con. It's switching. It's switching to Guardian Con. Venue's going to be bigger. I'm going to just say it because Pro Bro told this to me drunk. He's like, if the con's not 2 days next year, I'm going to chop off my dick. You can edit that word out if you need to, but those are the words out of his mouth. and it just that goes to show you is one of the big people in the whole thing can make humor of it, and they know what they have to tweak. It's just like how Bungie knows what they need to do in the game because they're fans of the game. Is the people that held the convention and worked on the convention know what they need to do differently because they were also at the convention. It's 2 days is a fantastic idea. More vendors. More vendors. That's my number one. More vendors.
The 2 day option allows them to
Spread everything out.
It allows them to, first of all, do more with the event, so get the community a little more involved with, let's say, the tourney. I believe Kevin mentioned a couple of days ago that they were considering starting like a small tournament of that would culminate at DCC. It would start a couple weeks earlier and culminate at Guardian Con. So the 2 day event allows them to do that, but also allows people to do meet and greets with some of these bigger streamers or these streamers that they came out to meet, and be and actually get to meet them rather than just being like constantly hectic. Well, do I go to see King Athalion and Broman right now, or do I go to this panel at the same exact time?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why, this is the way most cons do it is, unless it's somebody that has a super tight schedule, like the Richmond Comic-Con I'm going to next weekend. It starts Friday night and it goes till Sunday night. the way they have it really set up is Saturday is the majority of meet and greet. Friday night is really just like, hey, show up, look around kind of thing, look at some vendors. And then Sunday it's got like the morning there's nothing, and then right around lunchtime is more meet and greets. And then in the afternoon it's more vendors. I think that's the biggest thing that DCC was missing is, everybody can stand around, they can talk, but you're all really standing around in the middle of AKA the walkway. Is that from my understanding there's going to be more vendors, because apparently there was like 7 that backed out last minute, because whether it's stuff people want to buy or not, it kind of helps ebb the flow of it, so everybody's just not standing around in one spot. It gives it more of a flow. So it's like the line for the meet and greets, like we already know that they had moved it for one, but that line merged with the line for the Crucible laser tag and everything. But yeah,
allow them to be a little more organized. All right. Well, we are pushing at about an hour, 17 minutes right now. So, would anybody like to have some last-minute closing thoughts before we end it right now?
I say we just go around the table.
Yeah.
You first, and keep going.
All right. So, big things. I'm definitely looking forward to Guardian Con next year, seeing what they're going to be doing. I know this year there was a little bit of a mix-up with my volunteering. I wanted to be a volunteer, but unfortunately my paperwork got lost in cyberspace, so I wasn't actually added to the list. But hopefully next year I can actually volunteer, maybe on one day and then attend the event next day. But I'm definitely going to be there for about a week. I can tell you guys that for a fact. I'm going to be there for a week. I want to go sightseeing, and I want to essentially hang out with the rest of the community, see who else is there. So, yeah.
I'll go next. Because I'm kind of going off of what you said, Bamboo. I'm probably going to be going for a week as well. There's already people that I'm talking to that I've met, like Clay and all these other people that that I've seen on there. I've talked to them on PlayStation and Xbox and stuff, and we're contemplating like doing one of those renting a houses things, because I've been talking to them every day since for the last week, just whether playing the game or just seeing what's going on. And
I would totally be down to help you guys.
That's what I'm saying. I think that would be really cool. Like there's ways you can rent houses, but that's all, that's a year down the line. But I have nothing but high hopes for what's going on for next year and the year after that. And I had one of the best times of my life there. So I think it was great.
Christy, would you like to go next?
Sure. I'm actually really excited to go back next year, because I really want to help my brother-in-law make their thing bigger and better, because hopefully it will be 2 days.
Woo. And
they'll have more time to talk with, everyone, and everyone will get to do things. We can bring things, give away things, have contests, all kinds of things. And I'm just looking forward to actually having time to hang out with people and not having to run around like crazy trying to find one person to give them something they dropped.
Right.
Yeah. Margo?
Yep. I think it's your turn, Bronco.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can kind of piggyback off of what everybody said is about the house thing. For example, I did rent a house down there for the week. That's what I did this year.
Really?
And throughout the whole time, I had several people stay with me. Like there was at least 7 people in the house the whole time. Different people, different times. And it's a fantastic thing because we played Cards Against Humanity. We did all kinds of stuff. When we weren't like at the con itself.
You guys.
So cool.
And it was great. And so overall, impressions of the con, I will say that entire trip down there is the best trip I've ever had, and I'm 26. So it's the best trip I've ever had. Guardian Con, or Destiny Con itself, next year going to be Guardian Con. They have a great foundation. They have the support of people, and I think my biggest critique overall is that they kept the people who were helping list too small, because they could have used a lot more people to help.
Mm-hmm. They
underestimated their need. But I think anybody would have, let's be honest. Nobody thought it was going to be that big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
again, year one logistics that are going to get fixed.
and other than that, I'd say more vendors and keep the sound booth for the stage and the game little booth trailer thing separate, because I literally could not hear half of the panels.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be like in front of the stage to hear them, and that's all things they can learn from. In general, it was super fantastic. I mean, going to Disney with everybody after, also super fantastic. Just hanging out with everybody watching the fireworks at Disney and Epcot, it's one of my single most enjoyable gaming experience of my entire life. I know it's not technically gaming, but it's with people that I play with. It's with people that I watch. All because of this game. And I mean, my overall impressions, it makes me speechless, and I'm a talker, obviously. And it literally made me speechless, just everything about that.
True.
And that's really all I can say about it. Speechless about the love and the support of content creators, fans, everyone alike. And this is not official without us commenting on the fact that our community raised $525,000 for St. Jude's in a week.
And the final check
Crazy.
after Bungie and all the last minute checks went through, $544,000.
Yes, that is absolutely obnoxious.
And that's all from community coming together to do that. That is absolutely unheard of in the gaming.
And let's just put it this way: 1 million next year. I will not accept anything less.
Please.
From our community.
750. 750. That is my bet. I bet we can raise $750,000.
I'm looking at $1 million too. I honestly think that we can hit $1 million with the amount that we
I'm gonna
raised.
vote for $1 million.
I mean, I'm gonna be like, I want to be the.
Let's put it this way: they said we couldn't do 200,000.
Crushed it.
We crushed.
Destroyed that.
Not to mention the fan base and the support we'll get next year.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
They'll get more support. This was national news. What we did was on national television.
Crazy.
We were on CNBC.
Yep.
Yes, and media outlets everywhere.
Outpost, if you have a link to that CNBC video, please link it in chat right now. Actually, I've been meaning to watch it, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. So if you still have that, if you can, I'd love you for
And I guess the last comments I'm going to say, other than I can't believe we did that. I mean, that's just a testament to any streamer that streamed during the thing, anyone who donated, anyone who retweeted, anyone who watched. All of those people, every single one of anyone who will listen to this, all of you are amazing. This community is not what it is without all of us, without all of you.
100%.
Keep it up.
Yep. Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time out to join me today. Really do appreciate it. I do apologize about all the little technical hiccups we had. Hopefully next time we'll be a little more coordinated. But thank you guys very much for taking the time out and joining me.
You guys all have a good night.
Anytime.
Talk to you guys soon. Yeah.
You too. All right.
Take care.
And with that, that will bring the end of what I'm calling for now reflections. Again, we are talking about such a very unique community in the sense that no other game really has the strength that this community does. So, again, another thank you to the guys who decided to join me today, or were able to join and decided to volunteer their time. Blue Hawk, Broncos, Christy-ish, and Diabetic Plague. You guys are the best. I enjoyed spending some time with all of you if I did. If I did not, I do apologize, and hopefully next year at GuardianCon we can spend even more time together, because you're like my family, and family sticks together. Alright. Well, I'm going to end the stream right here just so I can end the recording as well, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere.